RadioWeek 2026.
Smart ideas for radio and audio operators.
Hello, nice to meet you all. Thank you very much for joining us at Radio Week 26 on day number 5. We are Radiozeit, and you're listening to a wonderful session, 60-minute session about AI in program and AI in sales, and hope you will join us and we can give you a little bit of experience. And it will be a great session, and let's get it on and start with some little contents. If you have any questions about what we are talking, we are open to answer these questions, of course. Please write which country you are, your name, of course, and which radio station you're working, or which company you're working for, that we have a little bit location for you. And then we want to answer all the questions you have. So it will be great to know about a little bit more about you. So let's get it on, and let's start with Radiozeit, AI-powered audio innovations. And we want to have with our partners here a little bit look at the future of the media world. So let's get it on and start with a little video. So with this little video, we want to show you that we are on the way to the future media world. So we are a little speedboat for your big radio stations. We want to be a speedboat for your radio stations to help you to go faster with our AI services. And now it's time to say hello and who we are. And I want to introduce to you our CEO, Christian. Hello, Christian.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for moderating the session. I hear you're going to ask us some questions, so always answer this. And also, great to see some people already mentioning where they're from, which station they're from. Like everybody should do that, so we could. They're really curious because we don't see who's there, so it feels like speaking to a wall. So just get involved.
And I want to introduce to you our guests of today. And these guests, we are very proud to have them here on the board. It's Andre. Andre, nice to meet you. And we want to talk a little bit more about in the next minutes. So Andre, can you tell us a little bit more about what are you doing on Wikimedia?
Yes, I'm actually in sales. So I'm responsible for our CRM system. I'm responsible for the whole sales and for the marketing. So I'm covering up quite a lot. And we are actually talking about sales today later on. So I think I can give back.
Thank you very much. We're talking later. And I want to introduce to you Tim Torno. One of my best friends in the radio business. We have a same history. We work for the same radio stations. Tim, nice to meet you, and good to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you are doing?
First of all, thanks for having me, and hi to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm very satisfied to be able to working with Robert and Christian and Radiozeit. Because for me, I'm consulting radio stations. It really changed the whole way I'm working, and it can, for everybody, change the whole system, how we work with content, with talent, and with everything we do on the radio. And this is real fantastic future that is about to begin.
Thank you very much, Tim. We are very excited to hear you both about how you can use our technology to improve radio stations, to help radio stations to be better, to be faster, to be efficient. And now let's go into it, and let's start, Christian, with our with a little agenda. So we have now a little bit less than 60 minutes, but we want to have two perspectives with one data foundation. In the first part, we want to tell a little bit more about sales, how AI can drive the sales. How can data supports your radio flows, and in the second part we want to tell a little bit more with Tim about programming, about strategy, and how structured audio analytics helps to evaluate and to develop content and develop talents. So yeah, let's get it on. Next part, we want to tell you a little bit more about Radiozeit. So a Radiozeit has two pillars. The first one is AI-assisted accessibility. We want to show you a little bit in the next seconds. And the second part is the intelligence part. We want to talk about all the intelligence topics today. Is it monitoring in sales, monitoring of everything else in the program? So here is some use cases we have with different partners of us. So this is multilingual accessibility. We have the ad monitoring, we have program benchmarking, content monitoring. These are the big parts, and a lot of customers we have in generated this year, the last year. And the biggest cases we want to show you. The next, we want to go into more about accessibility. So it's very important to know that we are talking about real-time content. We are talking about multilingual, and we want to break the barriers that everybody can understand content. Is it local, or is it regional content, or nation or international content? We want to give everybody the possibility to understand what radio, what TV, what it means. So one thing I want to show is one of our biggest customer is Deutschlandfunk, the biggest public radio station in Germany. And what we are doing is live subtitling for radio in real time, and of course multilingual. In 24/7, we are creating the subtitles for them. You can read and listen in the same second. That improves the accessibility, the multilingual reach, the user engagement, and we are very proud of it. We have a worldwide patented innovation for this. Christian, tell us a little bit more. What does it mean?
Yeah, so this is basically the origin of everything we do. So what we did is we came up with the idea of read along radio. So you basically have, like in a karaoke video, the possibility to read what the presenter is saying on the station, and of course it needs to work. So we delay the audio a little bit to make it like you see the end of the sentence before it's set, and you can really read along like in a karaoke video. And that's the basis for everything we do. And on top of that, we do analysis of the content. But this is where we come from. So for example, we also do subtitling for TV. Like this is a Dutch TV station that uses our technology to generate subtitles because of the requirements legally. They have to put subtitles and everything. But we are actually coming from the radio, and that's the matter of our heart to make sure people who have grown up with radio and have problems listening to it now can still consume that. And this is another use case. Maybe Robert, you can say something about this one.
Yeah, it's a very topic of my heart. The radio stations are creating new sub-channels for music. So the 80s channel, the 90s channel, a techno channel, a country music channel. And what I think is the most valuable in the future is to make your content accessible for different communities. So we have local content for local communities. We are talking about a little channel, sub-channel that you play the same music, you have the same package of the music, but in different languages. In Germany, we have a big Turkish community. So the radio station in Germany is can have his content in Turkish or in Ukraine, or we have a big Polish community or a Spanish community. So this is the future. We believe that we have local content for local communities in other languages. So this is when you have an idea for this, you can come to us and we bring this together. This is what I believe in the future is one of the biggest topics. But now we are here to present a little bit more. This is ad monitoring. We want to monitor everything, and one module is the ad monitoring. Christian, can you tell us a little bit more? What is the technology behind, and what can we do with this?
Yeah, so this was the background, and we had this accessibility feature, the transcription of radio 24/7, and we thought, what can the industry do with this? What other use cases are there? And the first idea that came to mind was, of course, how do they monetize? How can they be supported monitoring other stations to see which ads are running on other stations? And that's actually when we called up a station and asked, like, how did you find your last customer? How actually did that work? And the guy told us, yeah, I was listening to the other station and I heard a spot there that we didn't have yet. And we just called him up and that's how we got it. So we thought, okay, we can support you with this. So what we do is we take the transcript and we find out who's advertising there automatically. And we can really quickly identify those spots and present that to you. And so first step, you will just get a list of all the customers that you see there. And then in the next step, you have abilities to look into the data and analyze on this, Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is as you can see, we can categorize it in national advertiser. We also we see the strategy behind here in the board of the timeline. You can see on which radio station they're booking their ads in which size, and if we know what price is, what costs a second of this in this radio station, we can also set up how many budget the advertiser has. But Christian, can you tell us a little bit more? How does it work?
Yeah, so of course, this is only an estimate. We know how many seconds these ads are played. So then our customers can just say, okay, I know my other stations in my area, they probably will take about this price per second at this time. So they put it into our system. And then in the end, we see the budget that the customer paid over a certain time span. That's what we have here. So these boxes will grow or get slimmer depending on how much ads are running there. And here you actually see a timeline where you see, okay, there are certain days, like here, for example, for this retailer on Sunday, they are not advertising. And these kind of strategies you can also see here.
Yeah, and the next is of course regional advertiser. You can see there are a much lower streamings and of course local advertiser, and with all these information of the advertiser, we are a very good tool for the sales department. But there are a lot of tools in the sales department. So there's a CRM system. There are a lot of system for booking, and that's why we are very proud to have Andre on our side. Wikimedia is one of the largest systems to integrate the customers and to have a customer story and have a customer journey. And we are very proud to be part of it. And Andre, let's go and start. What is Wikimedia? Can you tell us a little bit more about Wikimedia and your cases?
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me here. I'm really excited that you invited me to this group, because we started a cooperation actually brand new a few weeks ago, and we have already so much to do and to tell you here. It's all about sales, it's all about media actually, and what we want to give to our customers, and these are radio stations, TV stations, and end-to-end workflow. What does that mean? It starts always always with the initial contact. If it's successful, then it goes to an opportunity. Then the salesperson creates an offer to their advertisers. And if it's everything, if the offer is successful, then it goes to our second software called Dispo, Dispo, where you have the order entry, the spot booking, invoicing, scheduling, broadcast planning, and everything. So we have really the possibility to give them, through our two software programs, an end-to-end workflow that no information gets lost. You have the controlling everywhere and all information that is needed. But we are not talking about everything. We're just talking about sales. So we are talking how can I leverage my my sales, and actually it doesn't matter which industry you're working in. You always, as a salesperson, have you have two questions. And the first question is, where are my potential clients? And how can I find them actually? And when is the best timing to talk with them to be successful? So where are actually my low-hanging fruits so I can easily make business? And normally what you do first when you have a CRM system, you look into your CRM system. And I have here one example of one great supermarket. It's called Lidl, probably you know. And this is just an example how it might look like when you look on the revenue. You see, for example, you have done business with them on March 24 and on September 25. So probably it wouldn't be even the worst time to talk with them right now to make a similar campaign like you had 2 years ago, or just start once again the conversation because the last business you had was more or less half a year ago. So these are the insights you have from your analysis for the last 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It does depends on how much data you have in your CRM system, but you don't know what's going on outside. And there is actually exactly where Radiozeit comes into the game. These are screenshots from our system, so we were able to get the information from Radiozeit. And we can see, looking on the last week, just simply on the last week, what happened with the same customer. And we see that he's spending budget on 8 different channels, except of ours. And that's exactly the point. So we know this fruit is so low hanging, and we just didn't manage to talk with them. He already knows it's super important to do advertising. It's even important to do it through radio stations. He's using already 8. We just have to talk about shifting budgets. And that's the information you wouldn't know without using all these outside the box information we get directly from Radiozeit. And this is the information when we look just on one customer, but we can also get and completely overview what's going on in the market. And so we can see in the system the top 50 advertisers who are doing spots in different cities and through different stations. We see how many spots they're doing. We see the timelines. We see the industry as well, and we see the customers itself. And the most important thing actually is the small tiny icon on the very left side. It's the pink small icon, and this gives you the information if this customer is already in your CRM system or not. So you have lots of new clients like Immobilien Scout, like Auto Ebner here in this in these examples, that you already don't even have in your CRM system. So these are completely new clients you get, and they are already spending budgets, and you just have to talk with them. And if it comes to the question, when would be the best timing to do it? Then we can also do, together with all these informations, prediction for the next year.
But let me interrupt. Let me
Please,
interrupt.
thanks. I'm talking
let
all
me
the
interrupt
time.
you for only for 1 second before we go one step beyond. So Gareth Cherry has a question, maybe for Christian and for you. Does your system provide trusted proof of flightings for both spots and live reads, confirming exact air times and frequencies against the schedule, and handling make goods and late changes, discussing paid live reads from casual mentions, and providing an auditable trail for disputes? I think, Christian, this is one for you, and of course, Andre, maybe of course for you. So, Christian.
Yeah, that's a super interesting question. It's exactly something we look into a lot. Maybe let's try to go to the live demo. Cross your fingers that this will just work. We have here for Munich radio station our ad monitor. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So what you can see here is all those spots. And the thing you mentioned was the sponsoring, right? So here we see some of them are just sponsoring. They're outside of the ad blocks. So in this case, the speed camera is presented by that real estate customer here. And so we can do this. We can also say we want to filter for a certain kind of customer. So let's say Amazon, it will only show me Amazon, and now I can download the bulk data. What does that give me? It gives me this table I see here in Excel format, and it also gives me the audios, because that's also something our tool can do, is just playing the audio of that spot here. And so it's exactly this kind of presentation or this kind of thing you asked for. But that's also something we work on. We always optimize, because that's also kind of a customer for us. It's the customer who doesn't really need to know about his competition, but about his own station, and doesn't want to cut the audios. He just wants to send out the report to the customer and show, okay, these are the 10 mentions that we talked about, and here you have the documentation.
And so, thank you very much, Christian. Gareth, I hope it fits with your question. And Andre, do your system also can show the different data? Is it it's a spot booking, or is it a promo, or is it what kind of data you want to provide to the sales team in your system?
Yes, in our system, we can divide all these informations, and definitely anything we get from Radiozeit, we can show exactly in the same quality. I think the most difficult thing really is the exact budget, because we never know, are there some discounts, as some of them we're talking about and we don't have, of course, and you don't see any discounts from other TV stations or radio stations, but all the different types we can show exactly.
Cool.
Thank you very much, you guys.
For Andre. So one thing our customers are asking, or when I tell people about our product, they always ask about this one thing, and they say, "All right, so you're helping us to find the customers that are on other radio stations. So basically, you're just helping stations to steal each other's customers. Isn't that that's not growing the industry? That's not helping us to generate more revenue. It's just people taking revenue from one another." So Andre, what do you think about that?
Yes, exactly. And it's not only about shifting budgets from one side to another side. We don't want to steal anything. And therefore, it's very interesting to make a prediction. And the prediction should not be just about some special cases of some special advertisers. What we are looking at, and I think this is much more interesting, is about the whole industry. So we can show how the whole industry through all radio stations is working. And we have here 3 different ones, just to give you an idea about what's going on. And I have the red one, it's retail in generally. And the blue one would be perfumery and drugstores, so just a part of it. And as you can see, it doesn't match exactly. It goes in different ways. You see the heights and lows, probably on months you would never expect. And this is not just 1 or 2 advertisers. This is the whole industry of retail, of tourism, or drugstores, through all channels and through all radio stations. And this information gives you actually a huge power, because then you know when is the best timing to talk with them to be actually successful. And so you can, when you talk with such a power in your pocket, with your client, with your potential new client, then you have some information he probably doesn't have, because he will never have so much insights about all the radio stations and through the whole industry. And this is exactly what creates trust. And when the customer trusts in you, he will make him business with you. As easy as that.
And so this is the part where where we can say thank you very much for joining us, Andri. And this is the part for your questions. And Balamali Subramani has a question here. How does a platform distinguish between active listeners and passive background noise, like radios playing in empty shops, large malls? How do you ensure broadcasters aren't making big decisions based on inflated data? So this is also maybe for Christian and for Andri the best question. Christian, want you to start?
Yeah. So for us, basically, what our customers are doing is they add stations to the list of stations they want to monitor. And apart from that, we just see what is playing on the station. Of course, we can't know who's listening without adding another piece of the puzzle to our system. So for the ad monitoring, that's basically the decision, I would say, of the salesperson to know, all right, I'm seeing exactly which station this advertising is playing on. I'm seeing at which time it is playing on. I can have even a distribution over time to see, okay, it's only playing in morning shows, on the evening programming. And then I would say the salesperson has to decide, but André knows the salesperson better than me, so maybe he can also say something about this.
Yeah, exactly. Actually,
so the same thing.
There's nothing to add more.
Nothing to add more. So yeah, this is I want to assume that the Uki Media system and Radiozeit system is the best connection. So what our feedback from the radio station is that they don't want to add a new tool. They don't want to have another tool. They want to have a process. And our goal is to have to be integrated in the process. So we have the sales process from Uki Media. The salesperson has the CRM system, they have the booking system, they have the dispo system with Uki Media, and we deliver new data so that we can and enrich the sales department of each radio station. Andre, can you tell us a little bit more about this process and how it helps?
Yeah, I think this is exactly the point. it's important to make it for a salesperson as easy as possible. He doesn't want to have 5 different sites and be and have to rethink about what's going on in the market. He needs one specific information, everything together, and this is exactly what we are trying to do. We try to combine all the information we have already in our CRM system and from our revenue, and make the combination about what's going on outside the market, outside the box. And all these information combined together in one view, that gives you exactly the knowledge you need to know when to call, where to call, and who might be as well super interesting potential new clients, so that you just don't lose your time on potential advertisers that probably won't do anything right now, and maybe in half a year. So you know exactly the best timing for these companies is right now, and for the others will be in 2 or 3 months. So you can select your work much better, much more efficient, and especially as well for sales managers who have the whole team. For team managers, they can decide, okay, I have here 20 new customers, potential great new customers, who will get the best potential new customers. And these will be, of course, my salespersons who are really, really strong in the market and mostly efficient. So it leverages all the sales process, and that's the idea, to make it easy,
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Andre. You talk about the low-hanging fruits, right? So another radio station has talked to the customer. Another radio station has give them the idea how to book in radio, create an advertising a spot, and now it's up to you to say, hello, dear customer, come to us. We have a better spot for you. We have a better audience for you. And this is the part of the sales department. So our goal is to give the sales department on the most efficient way all the informations the market gives you, to be able to talk to advertisers on the same eye level, right? So this is the thing we can deliver. We can give you a transparent view about the market you want to reach, and this is the point. And thank you so much, Andre. And we talked about the same data, 2 different cases, and we want to go to the next part. But before, I want to say again to all the participants here in this webinar, please, if you want to ask a question, please leave your name, your radio station, or your country, and give us an idea who you are, and give in the chat your question, and we want to answer it, of course. So now we want to switch to the program part, and in the back in the last 10 minutes we also have the possibility to answer your questions, of course, to the sales part. So now let's step to the media monitoring next part, programming. We talked in the start of this session about multilingual, global, source-based journalism, real time. We want to give you the Radiozeit's content monitor view. This is the program benchmarking. We want to give you in one dashboard all the informations of your radio station. We are detecting the music. We are detecting the station sound package. We give you all the metadata from stream, from playlist aggregation. And of course, with our technology, we have the transcripts. We have the LLM detection lyrics from the music. We also have the LLM detection of the content parts, which music they are playing, but also what the content parts are. Is it an interview? Is it a moderation? Is it the host information? Is it a weather or a traffic service? It's news or whatever. We can give you a whole benchmarking, a program benchmarking, and all these information. And it's in the content monitor. You can see the linear way how to have these informations. So it's like in 6 in the morning, you have the news. We are integrated text. So Christian, can you tell us a little bit more about this this dashboard to showcase all these information? What our informations are in? What does it mean, your dashboard or our dashboard?
Yeah. So again, when we had the transcription system ready and we were working on the advertising monitoring, we found out, of course, it's also important for the programming to see what's going on other stations, and also to get a better picture of what is actually sent out over the air from their station. And so what we have here is just the simple first approach. We have the table. It identifies this is a news block, this is an editorial block, and then identifies what are the topics that they are talking about in the editorial block. But also it finds out, is this local content or not? And this is basically the groundwork we do for programming people, also for regulators. This is of course interesting. So some of our customers are also the regulators from the countries that want to, of course, make sure that the stations are broadcasting according to the rules. And of course, this is also interesting for the station to make sure somebody complained here and it's not true. We actually have more word than music or something like this. So this is what we are also working on. Yeah, Robert, I show you another screen here. Yeah.
A little question for what can data analysis tell us about the content quality?
Yes. So I mean, this question is basically going into two directions, right? And the quality can be either what are they talking about, can also be the length and all this kind of metadata that we see here as well, right? We see, for example, okay, this was a feature, it was an interview. We can then look further into what were the topics, and also was topics X epsilon, what was, when they talked about Trump, was it in a positive or in a negative connotation? Like these kinds of things that you also want to see in terms of quality. Of course, it all plays back with an archiving solution, so you have the audios of this kind of programming as well. Yeah, Robert, maybe that answered this question.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a very it's very exciting to have this tool because you have now a very transparent view about not only your program. You can also switch another channel on it, and you have a view on another station. Of course, we can see here, and this is one of our cases we had in testing with the BBC, the content overview. This is the example how they want to use our technology. They have not only the BBC Radio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They also have 39 local radio stations: BBC Manchester, BBC Sheffield, BBC in London. And they want to have an overview every day. They want to have an overview what the local radio stations are doing right now, and we can talk it. We can give this information because only with our summarizing tool, with our transcription and summarizing tool, to have it in real time, the informations in bullet points. So it's divided into local, regional, national, international content, and you have a current view about all the contents. We talked with the BBC guys in a newsroom about the same procedure for an international view. So we can switch on a radio station in China, we can switch on a radio station in Australia, Japan, South Africa, South America, and Argentina, and we translate it into English. And then they have an overview about all the world's topics in the market. And of course, we have the music dashboard to have all the information about the music. And And now it's very, very exciting to give you. Oh, is it similar? We have a question here from Gareth Cherry. Is this product similar to Talkwalker? Christian, do you know Talkwalker? I didn't hear it.
No, I'm not aware of Talkwalker. I don't know. Maybe Tim, you have heard of that? No.
No.
I suppose there are different tools that do something like this. The thing is, what is really innovative with what we are doing is we are looking actually into the words that have been said. So that's something that's only possible since a few years with AI. And what is also helping us is the pricing of our infrastructure. So we are really optimized to make sure we have 24/7 transcription and being able to really look into everything that's being said. And most tools that have been there before have been using fingerprinting, for example, to detect advertisings or to detect music. And that's something, of course, where AI helps a lot. Yeah, let's say.
So
cool.
Thank you very much, Christian, for answering this question. We want to go straight to Tim. Tim is the CEO of Keep It Up, and he will tell you a little bit more about himself and his work on radio stations. I really appreciate his work, and he is one, except to in the same direction as Andre has with our Radiozeit tool. He can do a little bit more, and what it is, he's now on. He can tell us a little bit more and answer the question: what are the biggest challenges currently facing program creators, program directors? And can you tell us a little bit more about your work at Keep Up?
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I will. We at Keep It Up, or me in person, I'm consulting radio stations, different ones, mainly in Germany, Austria, in Switzerland, in this region. Energy Group, Absolute Radio with many stations in Germany, but also big public stations like Bayern 3 or in Austria, ORF in Salzburg. So I'm doing the classical consulting stuff. Yeah, working with talents, developing program strategies, content, ideas, anything that help the station growth, to gain more listeners and to create a better program. Yeah, because before we can sell anything, we have to get a good product that is worth enough to sell. So when I found out what Radiozeit is doing, the first thing I thought about it: how can it help me in my daily work? Like the typical situation, if you have an air check with the team, you're standing there and telling them what you heard and what they could do to make their program, their work a little bit better, a little bit more fitting to the listeners, to the format, or whatever the issues are. But you mainly talk about one show. You listen to them to an hour, to 2 hours, 4 hours, how long it ever goes. You talk about 1 day, 2 days, but that's mainly it. And if you ever have done an air check or ever been part of it, you know all the stories. Damn, you listened to the wrong days. All the other days were perfect. Yeah. Or yeah, that was a special day, so that's why we did it that way. Or yeah, normally we do it this way. What I can do now with Radiozeit is I can look up for any day, for every day, for all days. This was my first way to it. I show you in a minute how I does it. But the second thing, when I came up with that idea, and I'm talking to a lot of program directors or content creators or anybody who's working on the product, they are full of work. There is not that time to talk to any single DJ for a long time, because they have to do many more stuff. So you don't have the time to do regular air checks with anybody on the team. So what Radiozeit provides you is they give you all the information about what is happening on air. So what I did is I created an AI tool who's working on the basis of Radiozeit, who is trained for over a year now, who does that what I am doing on AI basis. It does air check, program analysis, anything that is going out on air and works with it. So when we go back to the poor program director who has so much things to do and doesn't have the time to listen to his weekend DJ on Sunday because it's this little moment in the week where he spent his time with his family, he just can look it up. So the tool is going to say how the show was, what was happening, what was good, what was bad, and what should be worked on, and this pretty easy. And to make it more easy to see what I'm talking about, this is what I've done just yesterday. This is Antenne Bayern. It's used to be the biggest private radio station in Germany, and it's their morning show. And what the machine does is I give them the data of Radiozeit. Machine is for itself looking up what kind of radio station is it. Is it a CHR? Is it a hot AC? It's oldie based. It's a rock station. To bring the listeners in the right context, so he knows to whom should they be talking. And then it starts with an analysis of the show. It analyzes break for break for break. The first output will always be an executive summary, so you just can see what it's going about. And if you like to, you can go in and look it up for break for break for break. So this was one day, and you see where the critical points are. So I took another day and say, look at that one. So we see on the next chart. This is also the first day in a little bit more clear points. Then we look up the second day, and we looked up a third day. And what we can do now is we can put it into a system where it gives points for each category and overall points. So you see like structure and flow. It tells which day is better, which day was worth. Listener bonding, storytelling, personality. It got a few more different points on which it looks especially, and then it gives an overall pointing. And like you see here, like music and imaging, like how are the DJs working with the music? And overall, it will say none of those 3 days have been over 7.5. So this is just for 3 days. This has just been for 3 days. But what I can see is general problems. I can see it's not that one day when I was listening, things doesn't work out. I can see general problems, or I can see points which should have been done better, and we want to do it better in the future. So what I can do is say, I want to focus on personality, on music cell, on whatever the issue may be, and I can look it up in a week, in a month, in 3 months, and I can see if we develop. So for the first time in radio history, we can put KPIs to our product and we can prove them. It's not more about emotions, it's more about strictly information. Robert was talking in the beginning of that short session about transparency. So we can bring our product to transparency. You can see if we're doing these things we're talking about. You pay a lot of money for studies, for example. You're doing studies on your program, and you get a plan at the end of the study. So we have to focus more on that. Our biggest rival is getting more credits for this and that. So you can decide to work on this and how you work on that, and you can look it up day by day if you're doing it. In which show, how good are you doing it? Which DJ, is it doing good? Is it better? Is it worth? And so for the first time, you can see things, how they develop and how good they are. You get your ratings. Your ratings are great. You can look up if you're doing really great work, And you can say, yes, we did. So it's clear that we get great ratings. Or you get bad ratings, and you can look up and see, are there things which have become worse in the past 3, 6, 12 months, whatever. So we can now concentrate on real points. We don't talk about emotions. It's not somebody coming up like for an ad check when I does, or a program director, or the CEO is telling anybody, well, I don't feel that we really love the music that we play. We talk about some singular emotions, but right now we can really put proof on it and tell if the things are going well or if they don't. So this is a huge case for me in my daily work, but I guess it's going to help anybody who's working with teams or with the product to become better.
So a little question about Tim is the analysis changes your work, right? So you talk about a little bit more transparency about 24 hours or the whole week or something. What changes for you as a coach or as a program developer?
Well, it changes two things. It can change the way I work, for one point. But I guess where you want to go is if I'm afraid that I lose my job because the machine is doing everything so good. Well, these are 2 points to that. When I was on AI presentations, when somebody was talking about AI, I always remembered one sentence, and it's always been, not AI is going to steal your job. Somebody who can AI is going to steal your job. So I try to be that somebody. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, even with all those information, there got to be people like me who can transport those information into the people. Because just knowing what is wrong or what can be done better is just the first step. You got to transform it into the people in a way they understand it and they can manage it to make it better. And DJs are talents, are artists, and the work with them is special. So you need specialized people for that a little bit, like me. So I'm not afraid that it will take my job. I'm more I'm more happy about that. I believe it can help to make our product genuinely better.
Yeah, thank you. Before we answer the question of Gareth, I just want to know about a little. Can we go into a use case? Maybe can you tell us some of your use cases? What helps you directly in your work?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I was working for a radio station who has 2 different morning shows. It's one station, but they have 2 morning shows, and they split up every week. One week show A, next week show B, and then starting from the beginning. And they were not sure. They got better. They got worse ratings, and everybody pretty got the feeling that one show is better than the other. And I could put in a second, I could put proof on that. I just put the shows in, and we gave the data out, and it said clearly that one show is much better. That it's not just a emotion or something. And at least we talk about people. So of course I understand everybody who's in charge that he doesn't can handle it just that way, but we can put it data wise. So you help the people who have to make those decisions to have them much more clearly. And it helps me right now also in the stations where I use it. It helps me in so many little things. I don't know. It can be different in many markets, but we are music stations. So the first and the foremost and the most important thing is pride and passion for your music that your station is playing. So putting a proof on that and putting something that all the DJs know, that it's not about the day the guy comes for an air check, I put in an extra power on it, but knowing that I can see if you're doing for a week, for a month, a progress in working with the music, I think that's helping very, very much. And it helps, at least it helps in any discussion because you take off the emotional part. It's not Tim's view. It's not Robert's view. It's not, yeah, you can see it that way, but I can see it in another way.
Yeah.
Because we can put KPIs on it. And yeah, it's the machine's view, you can say, at the end of the day, and she's learned on data and on sync. But these are more generalized working data and things, how you do it and how you handle it. It's from the whole storytelling thing over the hero road, over how to do a good commercial. It's all those informations are in that. So it's mainly about entertainment.
Yeah. So thank you thank you so much, Tim. We want to have a view how we can integrate your algorithm, your tool, your module into our system. Christian, we talked with Tim for a long time. Can you tell us a little bit more about the system, and then we answer the question of Gareth, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, let's maybe bring up one more slide. The thing is, we are now at a level where basically Tim is using all of those features that the system is representing. So if we put it into a pyramid view, we have the transcription at the bottom, then we detect from the raw transcript, where's the music, where's the content, where's the advertising, and then we go into the use case-based analysis. And this is what you saw, where we see from an advertiser which industry is the advertiser from. We can see for the content, which locality does it have, and we can see from the music, all the genre information and all of this kind of stuff. But then on top, that's what Tim, and that's why we are so excited about this, what is Tim building. And that's really surprised me as well, because you wouldn't expect that the AI would be able to detect emotions or how good the presenter is connecting with the music they present, or whatever Tim is building there is super exciting, I think. And that's really what makes this so strong. And what we always tell the stations as well is just imagine what you could do with this data if you already had it today, instead of starting to transcribe the segments you have.
And now we want to answer the questions. Does the system integrates it into various playout and scheduling systems? And the first we can answer is, of course, yeah. With Android, we have the best example for it. We integrated into the Wikimedia booking process for the sales part. But we also integrated in different. We are API based, so we are integrated in every system. Christian, can you tell us a little bit more? And yeah, and I want to give the Christian the you can switch on, and if you have also some questions, you can book a meeting with us. I want this is a slide for us, but Christian, now the answering.
Yeah, so that's the one side. What Robert mentions is the APIs, where you can build our tool into your existing workflows. And on the other side, I think Garrett had this question as well. How about the playout system? Of course, it helps our system if it knows which songs are played where exactly, and we don't have to detect that. So we already integrated with one playout solution. But it's the learnings from that was that it's really quickly done, because they have certain export formats that we can just read in, and then we just have to synchronize the timelines, and then it just works. So that's also something that we don't charge to our customers. If they bring a new playout system that we need to integrate, we're happy to do that, because we know that makes our product better in the end as well.
And one question left from Balamurali Subramani. What is the break-even point for a station investing in this platform? How do you ensure this data doesn't just benefit the big players while leaving smaller broadcasters behind? This is a very good question.
Yeah, Robert, maybe you can tell the story of one of our customers that tried out the system and had real quickly some success with it.
Yeah, so one of our first customers, a little radio station in Munich, only Munich-based, and has 10 stations around. So they are fighting for the sales market, or for every budget in the market. And with our platform, so what they are doing is they had a student who is listening to the other radio stations and write down in an Excel file what advertising is running. And with our tool, they have now a complete overview about all the radio stations, all the customers, all the advertisers they have. And in 3 weeks, they had 30,000 euros more money, more budget. And after 6 weeks, they had around 80,000 euros new budget, plus to the budget they had with our machine. So this is only one example for a little radio station which has a lot of market competitors. And this is a value we can provide. And with the help of Andre and Wikimedia software, we have it in one process. So we want to be an integrational part of all the softwares you are using. Is it a playout system for the content monitoring, for the content detection, or is it like Wikimedia, the sales process? So we can help you with AI, with our AI, to give you a transparent view about your market. So it's not that if you have a little market, a local market, or you have a bigger market, a national or international market, we can have a view on others and on all sides. Yes. So it's 4 o'clock. Thank you very much. If you have questions for us after this session, hopefully you have a picture of our QR codes. We are very happy to say that we are at the Radio Days Europe in Riga in March. So if you want to book a meeting with us, we are very honored to have you on our booth. And of course, you can have always a meeting with us after this session. Go to our website, Radiozeit or radiotranscript.com or radiozeit.de, and you can find all informations there. Here is one time our QR codes. We are very happy to share information with you and your individual questions. Thank you very much for joining us. It was a very pleasure. Thank you for the team from RedTech behind, Philippe Chapeau, Omar, and Margaret. Thank you so much for having us here in this session. And we wish you a good weekend all together. And special thanks to Tim and Andre for joining us in this session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How do we contact Tim? It's just a question. Google Keep It Up. This is there. You can find the website of Tim. And thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for your question, Bala Murali. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gareth, for your questions. And have a nice weekend. Have a great weekend, and have a good time together. Hopefully, we can pilot something for you, and it will be an honor for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Radio Week 2026. Smart ideas for radio and audio operators.